I think I ruined my relationship with my parents and now I don't know what to do. I, 25F, have been living in Australia for the last 4 years. Last month I fractured my hand and when I went to the doctor, he just brushed it off as a normal sports injury and recommended that I rest and ice it. When it didn't get better in 2 weeks, I sought advice from another doctor and she suggested I get X-rays done, which revealed that it was a fracture that needed immediate attention and that I'd have to get a surgery. I told my parents about it and their first thought was that I should take sick leave for a few weeks and come to India to get it fixed. Their reasoning was that it would be very expensive to get it fixed here and that it would be easier to have someone to take care of me at the same time in India. I understand that this was out of concern, but I wanted to be able to fix things that are easily fixable where I live. I suggested that I would want to talk to the doctors and explore my options here before I decide to fly to India. After having conversations with doctors about surgery costs and the recovery time, I realized that it was a lot cheaper to stay here and get the surgery done than to go to India as my insurance covered most of it. I did not want to go to India for various reasons. First, I want to be able to try and fix things by myself wherever possible as I feel like I should at least have the chance to fix my own problems. Second, I had some major changes happening at work and I wanted to be around for that. If I had gone to India, then it would have been highly unlikely that I would come back in time. And lastly, my father has been looking into various marriage proposals for me even though I have made it abundantly clear that I do not want to have an arranged marriage done. I have been planning on telling them about my non-Indian boyfriend and did not want to be in India, especially in such a vulnerable condition, until I'd done that. I know I come across as a coward when I say that, but I was not ready for the potential emotional drama that would inevitably ensue. Also, I came back from India after a month-long vacation in November, so it's not like I hadn't seen them in a long time. When I called up my father to tell him that I want to get the surgery done here and not in India, he blew up. He screamed at me for 10 minutes, saying things like "You have absolutely zero sense in you. You just never think and always just assume that you know best. Just because you got a little bit of money you think you can handle everything yourself. Yeah, of course you don't even care if we are dead or alive. You'd rather cut all contact with your family because you prefer this independent life. We don't have any right to take care of our own family members now. Yeah, sure, stay with people there that you call friends because they are above your family to you now, and ultimately let us know if you even want us in your life anymore. If you don't, that is fine with us too." And that was the last I spoke to my parents. He blocked me the day after that call. This was 3 weeks ago. I got the surgery done to fix my fracture and I haven't heard from them at all, even though I know that my mother has asked my brother about me. I tried calling my mother and she hasn't picked up. In all fairness, I only called her 3 times in 3 weeks. My brother is getting mad at me that I'm not making more of an effort to reach out to them, but honestly, I'm a little furious too now. They had concerns about me getting my surgery done here, and I got solutions to their concerns. After laying down all solutions, they still insisted I come to India, which just makes me believe that all they care about is control. They wanted me in India to ease my life, but when I decided to get the surgery done here, they did not hesitate to put additional stress on me and just cut ties completely. I have no idea how to fix this problem other than to just constantly apologize and tell them what a dumb idiot I am for not listening to them in the first place and just go with everything that they want from me from now on. But I really don't want to do that. I'm working hard to be a strong, independent woman, and I want to have the best relationship with my parents. But I am just afraid that having that kind of relationship would come with me having a lot less control over my life. Biggest one being marriage, as I know this is the current big thing. Any advice on how to fix things and at the same time have them trust me to be able to take care of myself? Update. I being held hostage at my parents' place and I don't know what to do. I 28F, Indian, am so exhausted of fighting. I'm writing this on my phone in a very emotional state, so apologies if it isn't well formatted or isn't very well written. 3 years ago I made a post about how my family parents, 57M and 53F, stopped talking to me because I didn't travel back to my home country to get my surgery done. Well, things never really got better. I started talking to them maybe a year after my surgery when they reached out and it wasn't great. All we did was fight and any cordial conversations were conversations of no value, essentially just limited to how's work going, what did you eat, blah blah blah. Last year they showed up to Australia out of the blue and I didn't handle that well. My partner and I met them, but suffice to say they weren't very happy. Coming back to today, I came to visit them in India, with my partner staying with us for a week and then 2 weeks without him. They were adamant they only want to spend time with me. I was keen to work on the relationship because I do want to get married and have the option to have potential kids, and I can't really / don't want to do that without them involved in my life. I'm dating an Australian guy 28M who I've been in a relationship with for over 5 years. They made an excuse so we couldn't stay with them together, but they met up with us for lunch the day my partner was leaving. Ever since I've started staying with them, they started talking about how I should extend my trip. I've made it very clear about how I can't, and I've had multiple fights with them over this. One of them where my dad started talking about how I'm essentially filth and I live in filth, and he can't believe he's been loving filth this entire time. They've been taking me around out relatives and didn't let me leave the day I had my return ticket. I've cried so much talking to them, but apparently the plan always is what they want from me. They've said I'm not allowed to leave anymore because apparently I've become a very negative person and they are worried about me. They have said that the Australian chapter is closed for me and I'm staying here from now on. I'm so scared and I really don't know how to deal with this situation, and I'm looking for advice from anyone at all. I want to leave, but I'm worried they're going to stand guard at the door from now on and won't let me walk out. My brother is physically bigger and stronger than me, and he isn't on my side either. Edit. Taking into account a couple comments and a DM, maybe the term hostage is too extreme if a word, and I apologize as it wasn't for clickbait but because I was extremely emotional when I wrote this. Update 2. Thank you everyone for all your concerns, suggestions, and for giving me hope. I didn't want to update sooner because it struck me very late that there is a small possibility my brother uses Reddit. The chances of him coming across this post were slim, but I didn't want to risk anything. In short, I ended up running away from home. I'm still contemplating if the decision I took was too extreme for the situation, but I think I'll go crazy if I go down that rabbit hole. A couple friends of mine had a friend, who I met last month but was hesitant to reach out because he was a fairly recent friend, in a town 3 hours away, so my boyfriend and my friends planned my getaway. I was constantly surrounded by my relatives / parents to plan things, but for everyone reading, I am of sound mind and the decision to do this was mine alone. I snuck out the night we came back home from my relatives on the pretext of going for a walk, but I know they'd probably have found out not too long after I left. My friend was waiting in his car close to my place and he drove me to the airport. It was perfect because booking a cab would have had issues with timing. I didn't know when would be a good time to sneak out, so having a friend around gave me the flexibility to sneak out at my own convenience. The priority was getting out of the country as soon as possible without even knowing what the best way was to get to Australia. This was also crazy timing with the Indigo fiasco, not sure if it helped or hurt our chances. I could only do this because of the immense support from my friends back home who spent a lot of time planning the routes and booking the flights for me, so as to not arouse any suspicions from my family, and very little time for them to act. I've had messages from them and a few calls. All I've done is message them that it was my decision to leave and list a couple points on why, and that I'd be keen to work on the relationship if they can try to come around to my life choices. Thank you everyone again, and especially to people who reached out to make sure I'm doing okay.